So I'm going to talk to you about my ghost story, and it happened at 193 Kent Street in Brisbane, in New Farm. Midway through 2018, I moved into this house, and it is 193 Kent Street in New Farm in Brisbane, and unit number 7. And this was where the ghost story begins. Yeah, so I'll put these pictures up to show you, because these are actually pictures of the house. This is exactly what it was like. So that's the kitchen there, fridge. So behind that kitchen you got the laundry, and then behind the laundry you got my bedroom, and then on the other side from my bedroom you got the shower, and then next to the shower you got the toilet on the right hand side. Brazilian girl's room, Gabe and his boyfriend's room is pretty much straight across from the kitchen, and then out the front like in front of that you've got your lounge, and then you've got your balcony. Yeah, so basically when I moved in, I didn't notice too much to start off with. It started, like, the first thing you'd notice would be the laundry door was constantly slamming. And for me, I just thought it was because of the wind, because we had the window open. But when you look back and it's like, that was a bit weird, like the laundry door was constantly slamming all the time, and then you start to notice, and it's like most doors were starting to slam, and then there'd be a couple of other weird stuff, like occasionally you're in the kitchen or something like that, and the lights would turn on and off like straight away. Like it wouldn't go on, and like it would just flick from on to off like straight away, and you're like, what the fuck? One of the first things that I really thought, fuck, what is that? It was, I was in the kitchen, and I'll show you here a picture of the kitchen. This is the kitchen from the actual house, so you can see it. So this, on the left here, you see the sink, you got the fridge thing. So at the back there, that's where you do most of your prep for your cooking. I was doing my prep there one day, and the light just fell off. It's like one of those round kind of. So you got a light bulb, but then you got the round kind of thing over top of the light bulb. And what happened was it fell off to the floor. So like straight down, like the plastic thing fell straight down. But it was weird because it wasn't like it just fell and because if it just fell, it would just fall and kind of hit the bottom and stuff. It was like it went like someone was smashing it to the ground, like it bounced and made a massive noise, like it went fast. I turned around and I'm like, what the fuck? I was the only one in the kitchen. Well, I was the only one in the house. In the kitchen, and I was like, oh, okay, fuck. That was weird. So I went and put it back up. Went back to, like later on, went back to my room, which is just behind. So you got the kitchen, laundry, and my room just behind it, all on the left side. Went there. Went to go to sleep. About 3 o'clock in the morning, the fucking light turns on. in my bedroom. Wakes me up. I'm like, I turn around like thinking someone's opening the door to see if I'm asleep or something, like one of my flatmates. Door's shut. The lights turn on. Like I woke up straight away. Turn around. No one there. No nothing. I'm like, oh fuck, that's a bit weird. Like I'm kind of feeling like what the fuck is going on. So I open the door. So like my bedroom, how my bedroom is, you got the door, you walk in the door, I've got my bed. It's fucking hard to explain. So you walk in left, my door's there, you're turning left, open the door, there's a wardrobe to the left side, and then my bed is to the right. So I can open my door, my bed is to the right hand side, and the switch is just up there. So I got up out of bed because the light was on. Obviously, I needed to turn it off to go back to bed. But I'm like, oh fuck. Turn it on, like flip the switch, like something wrong with the lights or something. Turn it on and back, turn it off and back on. Open the door, kind of sat on the end of my bed for a little bit to go, what, why did the light go on? Went into the toilet and left like the door open, the light on in my room. Went to the toilet, come back, and just because I was kind of freaking out, man. I was freaking out, like, why the fuck did the light go on? There's no one in the room. I sat on the end of my bed with the light on, and I'm sitting there, and my door for my room starts slowly closing in front of me. Like, there's no wind, there's no nothing in the house, no windows are open. It just starts slowly closing in front of me, and I'm sitting there on the end of my bed going, you have to be fucking kidding me. Like, went to try and get to sleep. There's so many times that this would happen, this little things would happen, and I just, I couldn't sleep, man. I try and get to sleep. In bed, like, fucking sweating, because I'm like, this is fucked. It's fucking me off. Like, okay, there is something going on, or someone's fucking with me, but I'm like, I'm being honest because it scared the fuck out of me. Yeah, so that day, the next day, that was kind of a turning point for me, to realize that it's not normal when there's something going on. So I started to think about back all the times the door slamming, the lights turning on and off, and I'm like, couldn't sleep. But what happens with this stuff is it will happen one day, and then you'll not have anything for about a week, and then all of a sudden something else will happen. So basically, one day I'm lying in my bed, and this is probably a week or two after the light switch situation. I'm lying in my bed, and I feel like someone's put their finger like that down on my chest, like on my breast. Someone's like pressed down on my breast, like I can actually feel it. I got up straight away because I was like, what the fuck? Because like you could actually feel it. and looked. At the end of my bed is like a fucking little girl. And I'm like, so what she looks like, she got long hair, like kind of brown, ginger, long hair, kind of out of place a little bit. She's got a dress on, and she's like looking at me. She's at the end of my bed. And you know when sometimes this happens, you wake up and you think someone's there, you look and you think someone's there, and then you look again and they're gone. So then you're like, oh shit, oh sweet, I was dreaming, like they're not there. So I got straight, as soon as I felt the thing on my stomach, on my chest, got straight up, looked, she was there. I'm like, fuck, I must be dreaming. Like, kind of shake your head off, look again, still there. I'm like, fuck. I jumped out of my bed, like went to hit her, because I was like, fuck, is this real or what the fuck? So I jumped out of my bed, nothing there. It's like, I've got like, my fucking skin is going, I got goosebumps just telling the story, because being back in that night, yeah. So you look again, and usually they're gone. I looked again, still there, jumped out of my bed and went to lake. Because I don't know what the fuck. Same shit, right? Same shit that happened the other night. Went across to the toilet, left the light on, sat on my bed, going, what the fuck just happened? With the door open, same shit just happened. Like the doors slowly fucking closed in front of me. No wind, no nothing. And that was the time when I'm like convinced there's a fucking ghost in my room. Like that day was the one day that fucking convinced me. Because of all the other shit that's going on, you start to think, oh fuck, this happened. It just gets worse. So like I said, it would happen maybe one or two times, and then I started to be like, fuck, I can't go to sleep. Like I'd drink so that I could go to sleep, because yeah, if I was sober, like if I wasn't drinking, because if I wasn't drinking, I'd go lay in bed, and all I could hear was whispering. It was like, I'm not fucking joking. It was just like whispering the whole night. So not only does it fuck you off because you can't sleep, it scares the fuck out of you because you don't know where it's coming from. So there was just whispering every night. You try and get to sleep, there's just whispering. So yeah, I had a day off work one day and came back into my room and tried on some new clothes, and at the end of my bed is like, it's a wardrobe that you open up, but it's a mirror. Took a couple of selfies of the new clothes in front of the mirror just to see what they look like. Had a look at the photos. There's my windowsill here. It goes like that. There's a fucking, like, I showed this picture to about 5 or 6 people in Brisbane when I was in there. So people that know, that people have seen this photo. So I'm not making this fucking shit up. There's a skull and a fucking thing coming out of the side of the, like, behind me windowsill with the photo. I think one of my mates from Brisbane, David, I think I showed it to him. I showed it to a few people from my work. I was working in Caboolture, Mazda at the time. I showed them the photo, 100%. this you can't make this shit up, man. Like this the whispering every night, all this kind of stuff. So it started to get worse and worse. With the whispering, I was about to move out. So basically what I did is I took my mattress and everything, got rid of that, and I was just sleeping on like an air bed on the floor in that bedroom. And chick from work told me to get some sage and stuff. And what I did get was like garlic and that kind of stuff, and I put it around. So one day coming back from work, my day off, the whole house was shut up. Like, because my room's right down the back, all the doors are shut. Go down to the back to my room, open it up, and that fucking, where the picture with the skull of the lady was, there's a fucking pigeon in my room flying around that area. Like, they're just by that. And I'm like, number one, I fucking hate birds. You know that from my podcast today. And number two, how the fuck do you get into my room when the door's closed? How the fuck do you get in the house when the door's closed? How the fuck do you get all the way down the corridor down to my room when the door's closed? And why the fuck are you trying to fly around by this window? So I open it up, leave my thing open, leave my door open to get this bird out, and I'm in the corridor. So I open the front thing, I'm in the like corridor, walking back. All of a sudden this fucking pigeon starts flying through the corridor, like behind me. I duck down, and then it fucking, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, yeah, scared the shit out of me. It was like it was coming for me. So I got the pigeon out. I went down, across from my room is the shower. I went down to have a shower because I've just arrived home and there was a fucking pigeon in my room. I haven't had a chance to get changed. I went down, there's a shower, got the shit out of my room, went across to the shower, locked the shower door. The shower door, when you lock it, went in the shower, I'm having a shower. I'm in the shower. The fucking shower, not the shower door where in the shower, but the door for the bathroom starts fucking shaking. Like, no shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, I'm in here, like, because I thought maybe my flatmate was on. It keeps shaking and shaking, and then it stops. I'm sitting in the shower. I felt something like come through me. I'm not fucking making this up. It was all of a sudden, I'm here, and then I've forgotten 1 or 2 seconds, and then I'm back here, and I'm like, what the fuck? And that was the scariest thing out of everything, out of the whole everything. That was the scariest thing, because I can't explain it. I don't know what the fuck happened. I'm sitting, like, it's like I lost 2 seconds, and I felt it. I felt something go through me. And then, straight after that, straight out of the shower, get ready, I'm fucking out of that house. I'm going straight. I'm not staying around. I had about a week left before I was moving, because I couldn't deal with this shit, man. I couldn't deal with it, because it was like the whispering and stuff, and like I was getting on the piss just to sleep, because I was sweating every night. I was sweating like what? So about a week before I move out of the house, I'm on my air mattress. I've put a few bits of the garlic around, like the chick from work has told me to do. I'm asleep and I hear this kind of like something touching the side of the air mattress. So I wake up. It's a fucking bottle of water. It's my bottle of water, but it's spinning. It's spinning like this and hitting my mattress. So I grab it because I thought, okay, there might be an explanation. Check the bottom, it's flat. So you think maybe I've left when I hit something and it's just spinning around. It's flat on the bottom. It was spinning around like that, hitting my fucking thing. Woke up, yeah, that was like it. People are gonna go, oh, you're making all this shit up, man. You're doing it, but there's so many other things probably when I was asleep that didn't happen when I was trying to. But these are the things I can think of, and I'm like, there's a fucking ghost, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I got out of there probably January 2019. I got out of there and fuck, man, like. Yeah. There's probably more stuff if I think about it, but when I look back and I was like, it's fucked. And so yeah, that's my ghost story from that time. That's what happened, living with a fucking ghost. So let's say I meet Mona.com at the bar and I'm trying to chat her up. Hey Mona, how's your day going? Did you see the All Blacks? They got that flat back line.
What do you mean by flat back line?
It's when they keep it flat so they get the faster balls to the backs.
Coach will not be happy.
You can say that again, Mona.
Coach will not be happy.
It's just like a figure of speech. I don't actually mean for you to say it again, but I know what you mean.
Yes, me day is good.
Oh, that's cool. What have you been up to? I've just been out playing tennis. Actually, you just caught me.
Playing tennis.
Yeah. Oh, so you've been playing tennis as well.